Alrighty, good morning, PT on Ice Daily Show. Happy Monday. Hope everyone enjoyed a really good weekend. I think I'm live Facebook and Instagram, so I should be good to go. Welcome to the PT on Ice Daily Show on Monday. I am Guillermo Contreras. I am a physical therapist in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, also a teaching assistant in the fitness athlete as well as the older adult divisions of ICE. So if you've taken a fitness athlete course, there's a good chance you've seen and or heard of me in the past. So today we're jumping into some fun stuff, but before we do that, let's talk about upcoming courses. And these are just the ones remaining in the month of June. This coming weekend, June 19th and 20th, we have two different courses around the country. We've got MMOA in older adult 5 in Mesa, Arizona. I believe that's with Christina and Alex and Julie and Jeff, so the whole gang's going to be there for that. And then we have a lumbar spine in Richmond, Virginia. I believe that's at Onward Richmond. So it's a good one out on the East Coast and one closer to the West Coast. So lots of options there for people all over the country. Next weekend, the final weekend in June, cervical spine is traveling to Santa Rosa, California. Lumbar spine is going to be in Simi Valley, California. So if you're in California and you want to take an ICE course, this is your chance. I have no idea where those are. I'm assuming one is Northern California, one is Southern, but I'm not real good on California. So if you're in California, definitely look at those courses, especially if you work with the cervical spine, lumbar spine, which all of us as PTs do. And then last but certainly not least, we have Fitness Athlete Live coming to Bear, Delaware. So we're going to be in Lindsay Huey's neck of the woods. Mitch Babcock will be leading that. And I am lucky enough to be able to travel with him and TA that course with him in Bear, Delaware. So if you're on the East Coast, somewhere in the New England area, definitely check out Fitness Athlete Live in Bear, Delaware. That's what we have in June, or remaining in June. Check those out. Lots more in July, so just go to ptonice.com to find any other course you're looking to take and looking forward to. So there's that. Now for the topic at hand. Garage Gym edition of hashtag Be About It. And for anyone new to the PT on Ice or new to ICE as a whole, we as ICE have a fitness forward mentality. We want to make sure that we're approaching everyone with a fitness forward mentality. We're using load, progressive overload. We're using strength. We're using principles of strength and conditioning and fitness to help our patients not only reduce their pain, improve functional outcomes, but improve overall quality of life. And as fitness forward clinicians, we preach that we need to be about it as well. It's very hard to convince an individual that you're trying to work with to use load, to trust that they can do a weight, to get stronger, to pursue a healthier lifestyle, whether it be changing nutritional habits or exercise habits, or just reduce any unhealthy tendencies they have, if we ourselves aren't practicing those things. So that's where it comes from, hashtag Be About It. And if you watched Friday's episode with Mitch Babcock on Fitness Athlete Friday, talking about bringing barbells, kettlebells, equipment like that into the clinic and using that to treat our patients, that same equipment are things that we should know how to use, that we should be using on a regular basis. So today's episode is hashtag Be About It, the Garage Gym edition. Anyone who knows me knows that I live in the garage. My wife and I have been building out a garage gym. I've been building it out since 2012, 13, when I just bought a barbell, an ab mat, a jump rope, some bumpers, and stuck it on the patio of our first floor apartment. And then in our living room too in the winter. So my room and I would do like deadlifts and burpees in our living room, and we would just be weirdos. I would pack it in my car, drive it to a local football field right there that was open, and we'd work out on the field. And I ended up buying a sled and some other things. And over the years, we've built it out quite a bit, right? We have a squat rack with a pull-up bar. We have a wall-mounted pull-up bar. We have dumbbells from 2.5 up to 50. We have kettlebells from I think 9 or 10 up to 70. We have a biker, we have a rower, we have an Airdyne, we have, it's legit, right? So I've built it out over time. And because of that, we're able to work out in our garage. We're able to practice what we preach. We're able to show that fitness forward mentality, not only in our own lives, but in the lives of our significant others. We have friends over, they can work out. We have family members always invited to come work out. And we used to belong to a CrossFit gym. We still do. I still coach at a CrossFit box. I still work with CrossFit athletes. I still work out there on occasion. But when we first started at that CrossFit box, which is still our home box, it's still our CrossFit family, we were a good 15 to 20 minutes closer than we are now. So now it's about, sorry, that's a lie, 15 to 10 minutes. We're now like a 20 to 25 minute drive from our CrossFit box. And with our morning schedules, with having a baby at home, we started investing more in the home gym, because that's something we can just walk right outside and get after it, work out really hard, come inside, shower, eat breakfast, hang out with the baby, hang out with our family, and then go to work. So that's where the garage gym is really important. And a lot of individuals and people who have taken our Essentials course have told us that they want to try CrossFit, but the closest local CrossFit box is 25, 30 minutes away, or there isn't one in the area, or they've been to one and it's just not really up to snuff, not up to par, not what they like. And many people just love the idea of being able to wake up, working out in their garage, coming inside, doing their thing, maybe going out in the afternoon, in the evening, whatever it may be, but having all that they need in their house. And so this episode, now that I've gone through that entirely long intro, is discussing what can a garage gym look like? What should you start out with? What are the bare essentials that you might need to start a garage gym? And it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. A lot of mistakes that people make when they start building out a garage gym is, one, buying like the fancier, nicer things that isn't or are not necessarily needed, and then saying, okay, I got one piece of equipment that has one purpose and it just sits there all the time when I'm not using it. Other things are, maybe they like go really low end budget. They like buy really cheap bars, they buy really cheap racks, things that are shaky, like break easily, are not the most efficient or best purchases. And they end up buying it over and over again, which ends up costing more in the long run. And if you're a weirdo like me who follows a bunch of garage gym accounts and reviewers and all these things, there's a saying in the garage gym world that's buy once, cry once, right? Save up that money, drop it on the equipment you need, go with higher quality if you have the money for it, and then be happy with it. The really nice thing about higher end things is they have really good resale value. So if you do want to upgrade eventually, you're not going to lose much. But again, that's a whole different episode if we really want to go dive the deep hole of like, hey, selling your equipment and upgrading and things like that. So if we look at the things that I would recommend starting out, if you're going to be about it, if you're going to live that fitness life, if you're going to try and lift some weights, practice loading up your own body, getting stronger, what are the bare things, bare essential pieces of equipment that you need? And if you go back to Friday's episode with Mitch, it's almost the exact same thing that he talked about. My list right here are, you need a rack of some sort. Eventually, especially if you want to load up, you're going to need something you want to put a barbell on. So a squat stand with a pull-up bar, a power rack, which is kind of like the 4 uprights and then 2 inside ones where you can squat inside or outside, or a wall-mounted foldable one. If you're someone who has limited space, you have a 1-car garage and you'd like to park that car in there, maybe in the summer, in the winter, whatever it is, or you have a nice car and you just don't want to leave it outside. The foldable wall-mounted ones are really nice because they can fold out to work out in, and you just fold it back against the wall when you're done. If you don't go with a squat stand or a wall-mounted rack with a pull-up bar, you just do little like individual squat stands. There's nothing wrong with that. But then you still want to have probably a pull-up bar and a set of rings. The rings are extremely versatile. You can do ring rows, you can do dips, you can do abdominal work, you can put your feet in them, you can do hamstring curls. There's a lot of different things you can do, especially like some higher level kind of shoulder, scapular type things too. A set of rings are really nice because you can also like modify. If pull-ups are hard, you can do ring rows, right? So lots of different things you can do there. Push-ups. Already mentioned it when I mentioned the squat stand, but you're going to want a barbell. And this is something you don't want to cheap out too much on, especially if you're going to be doing any type of Olympic lifting. If you're going to be doing cleans, snatches, jerks, anything where you want that bar to have a nice spin to it, you don't want to cheap too much out on this. If you're just going to be doing squat, bench, deadlift, any standard barbell works. I know on Amazon you get something, a cat barbell for like $200. Not a lot of spin to it. I think it's got a bolt on the end. It's not going to be the most efficient moving one, but it's good enough for anything that you're doing, especially if you're just hoping to do squat, bench, deadlift, maybe some pressing overhead, things like that. Just a standard barbell is fine. But again, make sure it's a decent quality, because if you plan to get rather heavy on those, with time, with enough weight, a cheap barbell will actually start to bend. So we want to be careful with that. This is a little optional, but I highly recommend having a bench, because eventually you do want to do some bench press, you want to do some seated curls, you want to do some seated presses, and a bench, depending on where you get it from, like if you go with a Rogue, it's going to be around 200 or one at 70 plus shipping. If you go with an Amazon Basics one, those can be like 120 to 130, and they can withstand around 450 pounds, right? So there's lots of different options for a bench, but I recommend one because Riffit elevated split squats, You can do jump over, some sort of cardio plyometric type stuff with them. I wouldn't necessarily jump onto them, but jumping over them. And some abdominal things, scaling for toes to bar. You can do like V-ups on them. It's just really nice to have a bench. And lastly is some sort of cardio piece of equipment, right? On the high end, you have all your Concept 2 equipment. So you have your rowers, you have your bike ergs, you have your ski ergs, you have your assault bike, you have your echo bike in the $600 to $700 and $800 range. But something like that is very beneficial. It's going to spike your heart rate. It's going to wreck you. Like Mitch mentioned on Friday, like the assault bike is always on sale because nobody likes them. The echo bike is almost always on sale, even if it's just $50 off, because it's miserable. It's not fun, but it's a fantastic way to stimulate your body to feel like it's dying and work really hard to improve your fitness level. On the really low budget end, right, you can go on Craigslist, on Facebook Marketplace, maybe not right now. I don't know what the market looks like now, but when we bought we just have a Schwinn Airdyne in our garage. When we bought ours, it was like $140, $130 for a really well maintained, this person took really good care of it, Schwinn Airdyne bike. It gets the job done. It's not as aggressive as an assault bike or an echo bike, but it still gets the job done. So something along those lines. And then if you really don't want to spend any money, you just want to go like low budget, right? You have, I'm hoping most of you have legs. Again, I don't want to leave anyone out, but a jump rope. Just get after some jump rope, single unders, double unders, running around the block, burpees, just doing burpees every time there's an assault bike or something else programmed that you can't do. Just find a way to get that heart rate up. Even if it's line hops, jump overs, whatever it can be. You don't even need a piece of equipment, but it's just a really nice piece of equipment to have, whether it be that assault bike, echo bike, which is what I recommend if you're just going to have one piece that can wreck you in one day or over a long period of time. And then otherwise, you have your rowers if you're someone who likes to sit for a while. My personal favorite piece of equipment is our Rogue Echo bike. Sorry, the Concept 2 erg bike, bike erg, because you can just get on it and cycle for 30, 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Just get after it. Get your heart rate up on days maybe you're not going to go too hard. So there's kind of a list of the main things I would recommend. Throw in there like a box, like a plyometric box, a 20, 24, and 30-inch box. They also make a 16, a 20, and a 24-inch box if you're not going to be jumping too high. But something you can do some plyometric stuff onto, you can do step-ups onto, you can do lateral step-ups onto, you can do jumps onto, jumps off of, you can squat down to if you want to do box squats. A box is not too expensive, and it's a really nice piece of equipment that you can just have right in the corner, store things on top of, behind of another piece of equipment recommended. So again, some sort of squat rack or stand, a pull-up bar plus some rings, which can be on the stand or not. Barbell and bumpers, very important. A barbell, a nice barbell, and bumpers somewhere around like the 200 pounds or 160 pounds. Depends on how heavy and how strong you want to get and how much you're going to be loading it up. You can always buy more. A bench, a box, and something for cardio equipment, right? If you're looking for some options, there's a lot of brands out there. And I think people know the big one. They know Rogue Fitness. Everybody knows Rogue. Rogue is plastered everywhere, especially if you're familiar with the CrossFit world. Everybody knows Rogue. Everybody wants Rogue. Rogue Fitness is top notch. And I would say that is like the market. That's what we want to go for. There's also companies like Sorinex. Expensive as well, but they make really good equipment. There's also Rep Fitness. Rep Fitness is really big into helping people make garage gyms. They make really nice squat racks that are super customizable with pieces of equipment, with different connections, with different attachments, right? Rep Fitness. They don't have free shipping either. Then we go down the line to some less known names. Fringe Sport. Fringe Sport is a company, fringesport.com, I think. They make garage gym equipment. That is what they specialize in. They want to help garage gym athletes or fitness individuals build garage gyms. They have garage gym packages. They market to garage gym people, home gym people. That's a really good company out there, and they have free shipping. And I believe their bumpers are actually some of the best out there. They're 10-pound bumpers. Like they drop off a roof and they don't even bend or move around. So they're 10-pound bumpers, which normally are flimsy and kind of will break after dropping it once or twice from other companies. Theirs are really, really solid. Again, getting too much of a deep dive here. But there's also Raptor Supply Company or Colorado Strength Equipment. They're out of Colorado, just like the name says. Really nice Olympic barbells, really great bearing and bushing barbells, lots of good spin, really nice squat racks. Just a really nice company, smaller company, family owned, but really good equipment from them. Raptor Supply Company or Colorado Strength Equipment. You have Titan Fitness. And Titan Fitness has gotten really big. People know them a lot more because they make more of a budget-friendly equipment. Squat racks, they make their own air bike, a lot of different stuff. So I'll kind of give an example here on how the difference in price is. But they have a really small company called I Sell Fitness. Exactly, I Sell Fitness, all one word. I think it's one guy, a couple employees, make barbells, make some kettlebells, really good solid equipment. During the pandemic, I actually got a lot of people from my CrossFit box, information about him, and they bought a bunch of their barbells because they wanted some things for home. They love their bars. Still working great, still have good spin, lots of different color options for bars and everything like that too. And lastly, I think some people actually know this company, but Body Solid, I think they're like a commercial company that does a lot of like bars and racks and stuff like that. I'm not a huge fan of their stuff, but they make good equipment. Like you're not going to go wrong buying from any of these companies. So lots of different options there. And then the last thing I'm going to say here in the last minute, I'm a little over, but that's okay, is make sure you know your options, right? I basically built out a garage gym. I grabbed the Bravo package from Rope Fitness, for example, which came with a bar, bumpers, 2 kettlebells, an ab mat, a jump rope, rings, a squat stand, a bench, a med ball. I added a box and the assault bike. In total, it came out to around $2,800. That includes shipping, so $2,768 with 12 cents. With shipping, that's more than enough to start out a garage gym. Like less than $3,000 for all that is fantastic. And if you think about a $30 or $40 or $50 a month membership to a gym, right, over the long-term time that you're paying for that gym, that's going to be way more than what you invest in a garage gym that you can care for, that you can maintain, you can take care of, you can do everything you need. Just to do a little bit of price comparison, I built out the very same thing. Everything the same except for the ab mat from Titan Fitness, including their Titan fan bike instead of the assault bike, and they came out to $2,048 with free shipping. So again, almost $1,000 less, and you can go with a budget-friendly option like Titan. And again, as long as you're taking care of your equipment, you're maintaining it, you're not abusing it, it'll last you quite a long time. So there's some different options. And then somewhere in the middle, there's Fringe Sport, which I mentioned earlier. They focus on garage gym athletes and individuals, and they're same exact thing, all the same items, except they're from Rogue or from a Fringe Sport instead of Rogue. And then you had to buy the assault bike separately from Assault. Came out to $2,289 with free shipping, right? So you just shopping around. Again, this is a weird episode, but I just want to get people knowing that there is a way to get this going. There is a way to start, and you don't have to get everything at once. Maybe you start with the squat stand, the bar, and bumpers. Start getting comfortable with some load there. Then you get some accessory equipment. You use a jump rope. You get an ab mat. You buy a box eventually. You buy a bench eventually. Bit by bit, just build it up, whatever your budget allows you to. But if we're not finding a way to get after it, if we're not lifting weights, if we're not getting stronger, if we're not pushing ourselves in the gym and trying to promote these things within our own lives, it's very hard to convince our patients when we say, you need to get stronger. But why would they do that if we're not getting stronger, if we're not making an effort to better our lives and our bodies and kind of pursue what we're trying to get them to really want to attain as well? Hopefully that all makes sense. If you have any questions about the equipment I mentioned, about the websites, any of the suppliers or the brands I mentioned, please go ahead and comment. I'd be happy to answer questions on there. If you want to see a picture of my garage gym, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to share that. Always happy to share pictures of that as well. Other than that, gang, hope this episode was somewhat helpful. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, again, reach out. Check out ptionice.com for any courses coming up. Fitness Athlete Essential Foundations, we meet tonight, and we're on week 2, so excited to get after that. And we start next cohort in September. So if you missed out on this cohort, please sign up for September cohort. It's going to be a great time. Other than that, have a wonderful Monday, everybody. Have a great week. Take care.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.